Hey besties, welcome back to the Mad Girls Club. We are here with another dilemma episode. And if you're new and you don't know what that is, it's basically where people submit their dilemmas here at themadgirlsclub.com. And it doesn't have to be the dilemmas. It could be like you just need advice, things like that. And I bring on my family and friends and try to help you guys with whatever you submitted and try to give you the best advice that we can and that we wish we would have had whenever we were going through shit ourselves too. And usually you guys see Sam here, but today we have my cousin-in-law, Tania. You guys loved her on the first episode, so I had to bring her back. And I feel like both of us have gone through some crazy shit in our lives. So I feel like she is another great person who can give advice to our friends out there who need it. Maybe you don't have someone in your life that you can, share and be vulnerable with. And everything that is sent to us is completely anonymous. So you get to, hear our advice. And then maybe there's someone out there too that's going through the same thing that you are. And they're able to hear the suggestions that we give you guys as well. But other than that, thank you for coming in for another episode.
Shut up. She said, do you want to come back? And I'm like, say less. I'm down. I loved doing this so much.
She wanted to be here so bad. She got here early.
Literally. And I'm late to everything. I was like, tell me a time and date and I'll be there. And here we are.
How was your weekend? Your voice is a little raspy there.
What is it? Today was
Today's Thursday. Yeah.
I'm still like dreading. I went out this Saturday and I still can't recover.
What did you do Saturday?
We went for Galentine's. Like we had like a Galentine's dinner. It was just like me and my two besties. And we had a great time, dude. It was crazy good to the point where I blanked the fuck out.
No way.
Yeah, and I don't ever do that. Like it's hard, like rare. My tolerance is so high with alcohol. I don't know what happened.
Really?
I'm so embarrassed.
Where were y'all at or what?
We went to the steakhouse, the Harper's.
Yeah, Harper's.
We were there and we actually met the manager and he was like the nicest guy.
Oh, yeah.
So he brought over champagne and it was just, as soon as he brought over the champagne, like I knew it was game over. He was like the sweetest person. He was like Latino and he was like talking to us.
Oh, wow, I didn't know a Latino person owned Harper's.
Yeah, he's like a district manager or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And
not owner, manager.
No, he's a manager.
Oh,
yeah, he's a manager. And we just got along right away. So he, brought champagne and it was so good. Like, I'm not a champagne type of gal, believe it or not. I know, bougie asked me. But it was so good and cold. And we were drinking and we were talking. And then he came back around and he's like, you guys okay? And I'm like, can you give me another round, but on me? He was like, no. Like, it's on the house. Like, I was like, no, Eric. Like, his name was Eric. Oh, I can't say his name. His name is, you know what? And he was like, no, it's on me. And I was like, no, like, you don't have to do that. So we went to the restroom. We come back and the champagne's there. Tell me why like half of the tab is also off.
No way.
He saved us like $180.
Damn, that's real good.
Yeah, he was like he was like, no, you guys are so
Shout out to the manager at Harper's.
Literally, he was awesome. Oh, he was great. He was so nice.
That's so nice. I love people like that.
Yeah, and he was like, you guys are such good people. Like, where are you guys after?
Yeah.
And then my friends wanted to go to like this club bar thing in Uptown, Tipsy something. And so we went for a drink and he was like, I can meet you guys up wherever y'all at. Girl.
He met y'all up?
Yes. Turns out he is the old manager for Vedora.
Oh.
When he's like, meet me at Vedora.
If you are from Dallas and you know Vedora, you know Vedora.
And when I tell you, like, we walk in with him, literally, like,
VIP service?
Literally, I was like, a little, like, what the, you know? Yeah, oh my God. Like, the security guard was flashing his light. Like, oh my God, like, do you want anything to drink? What do you guys want to drink? Like, we were just
if you were like Kim Kardashian, that's how it would be like.
Yes. I was just like a little taken back, but it was like, it's so good to like, he didn't have to do any of that. And he was like, no, you guys are with me. And we were like, okay, like, But he was great. He wasn't stuck up. Like, he was just so down to earth.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
you know my friends, you know, they're all for a good time. So we had a great time.
Well, it seems like I missed out.
Yeah, you definitely missed out. Can you start coming out, please? It's because I gotta give you like 3 days in advance.
Yeah,
like I gotta
knows.
give you like
I'm not like a last minute person.
Yeah, and we're
all.
mostly like, hey, like, what are we doing today? And we're like, okay, we're not doing anything. Then we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like, no, I'm not in the mood, then they know, like, you know, I can't. But with you, I gotta tell you like on Thursday, so we can know by Sunday if she's good or not.
Yeah, I have a Galentine's thing coming up too with my friends, but she told me about a week and a half in advance.
Okay, that's
and
a
so it's
little
on
bit.
my schedule.
Okay,
and it's on Sunday, and because she's like, "What day are you free?" I'm like, "Not free that day."
Oh my God.
I might be able to squeeze it in on a Sunday.
Literally, yeah, that makes so much. So do you have pink? Do you guys?
No, I don't have pink. I was gonna wear pink today, but I was like, nah.
We're gonna save it.
We're gonna stay to black. And I was looking at my thumbnails on YouTube for the Mad Girls Club, and I realized that all I wear is black.
Yeah,
that's all I wear. Like, I never realized
that you don't. You wear like dark colors, like gray, black, olive. Like, I feel like I've always seen you darker.
Yeah, I do have pink shoes, so I might wear like black and then just pink shoes.
Yeah. A good Carrie Bradshaw.
That's as good as who we gonna go.
Yeah, like Carrie Bradshaw would always like wear something very minimal, and her shoes were always like something bright. Love that. Yeah, so do that.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you should.
That's about as pink, or maybe I'll borrow your purse or something and call it a day.
I got that one in the light pink. Tell Far, please sponsor this episode.
That's literally like Mad Girls Club colors.
Please tell Far, please sponsor this video.
That's cute. I love mini bags. Yeah. But anyways, other than that, I guess we can hop into the dilemmas.
Let's do it. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Hey guys, your bestie Millie here. Trying to make a podcast is so hard, and I need your help to make the Mad Girls Club podcast enjoyable and exciting to listen to for listeners just like you. By helping us take this quick 2.5-minute survey, you can get a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card as a thank you for taking the survey at the end of season 2. You can take the survey at www.themadgirlsclub.com or at www.bit.ly/TheMadGC survey. The links will also be in the description section of this episode that will take you straight to it as well. So there's like one that's like super long, but I'm gonna save that to the end because super long. But anyways, I guess we can start off with, I'm needing advice. My daughter just turned 9 last month. Today, I took her phone due to her not cleaning her room, and I was going through her messages, and I see a message saying, in quotation marks, "Yeah, I'm bisexual," to her friend. I'm upset because I feel like she's too young to even know about any of this yet. I didn't even know what that was till I was in middle school. Then I go through her YouTube history and see Mia Khalifa in her searches. Like, where is this coming from? There's parental controls in effect. I just didn't block YouTube, and my dumb self probably should have when I confronted her and asked her how the hell does she know who Mia Khalifa is. She says she was mentioned in a song. I don't know what to think. I'm upset and need advice. I'm pregnant and was just released from the hospital due to some health issues, and this isn't helping. I want to cry from frustration because I've tried to protect her from growing up too fast, hence why I had the parental control on the phone, to where every app that's downloaded has to go through me, and she can't search for any websites that aren't kid-friendly. First of all, I feel like 9 years old is young, but in this day and age, I feel like 9 is like the new 13.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, Eli's 10. So I feel her completely. And I feel her being pregnant because I've been pregnant so damn many damn times. So, you know. So I know, like, it's even more, like, everything is so much more emotional. But our kids are very curious. My kid is curious. So I'm pretty sure everyone's curious. The fact that she mentioned it in a song still means like that her kid is not like, oh, she got it from a song. So they didn't tell her, hey, do you know who this person is? Because you know kids, they don't know how to shut up these days. So I believe baby's innocent. Like, she's like, oh, mom, I heard it in a song. So that makes sense. But like,
Mia Khalifa also has been popping up a lot on TikTok because Mia Khalifa is no longer a porn star anymore. Yeah. She's actually trying to be like this influencer girl.
Yeah, I did see that on TikTok.
And so she's on TikTok, and although you can Google her and you'll see all that stuff, I know, like, because I did follow her too at one point, not while she was doing porn, but after doing porn, because she was also dating
the rapper,
Mexican rapper.
What was
was it Raul?
No, it was the J guy, the one that sings the song Bad Bunny. That guy.
Yeah, so she was dating him.
She's not dating him no more?
I don't think so. Okay. And then that's when I started following her because of him and stuff. But then I stopped. But anyways, the point is, like, you know, although that's how we think of her, because that's how we knew her as a porn star. That, like, she is no longer a porn star. Yeah. So I'm sure that's why maybe her daughter fell into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The messages too, like the bisexual thing, I feel like we live in this so much more advanced. I didn't know what a bisexual woman or person was till I was like 17. Well, that was back, back then.
Yeah.
But I think that you just have to talk to your children. I'm going to tell you why. Because I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you know? Girl, and that's like my thing. And Eli's like, one time it came up, like, you know, why are they men dressed up as women? And I told him straight up, I said, look, Eli, like, some people enjoy doing that. Some people feel good about themselves in a wig and some heels. And who are we to judge them? You know, my 10-year-old also, like,
her 10-year-old is really smart.
Yeah,
he's
really
mature for his age.
So he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, he's like, oh, okay. And, you know, he's like, last time I was watching, he goes, oh, you're watching the show with the guys again? So I just think, like, you just have to talk to your children. Like, the key is to constantly talk to your children. And when it comes to kids, I just think you have to talk to your children. Like, you just talk to your children. Some people are just like that, and that's them. And who are we to judge? You know, that's what I think.
Also, like, you know, we grew up where, yes, there was technology, but not, like, I didn't start wearing makeup till I was in high school.
Yeah, I do.
My freshman year of high school. And I didn't have my first phone until, like, the end of my middle school era or whatever. Yeah. And so kids now, like, they have phones in elementary. Yeah. They're doing makeup in elementary.
Did
like,
you see
everything
that?
is so advanced. I don't know if
you've seen that little girl. She does, like, a whole routine, and she's, like, 9.
I didn't see that one, but I've seen a little girl, maybe, like, 6 or 7, does her mom's makeup.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she does her mom's makeup. She does it really good. She's like blending everything. Okay. She knows what brushes to use. Yeah, kids nowadays are so, like, advanced.
It's just so different. Like, it's so different from what we grow up.
Yeah.
But I think the key is to talk to your kids and I'm a very open-minded mom. Like, I'm all for, like, my kids telling me everything and anything. But not everyone's like me, and that's okay. Like, no one, like, you know, I'm like that because obviously my mom raised us to be super open-minded. Now she's a Jehovah's Witness, so whatever. But, you know, that's her thing. And, you know, I'll be like, okay, girl, that's you, you know. And she doesn't judge me or my brother for not wanting to become, you know, that. But I think that's really it. Like, you just really have to talk to your kids. And I think, honestly, I think the baby's innocent. Because she, like, said, like, oh, mom, she's from a song. Or what song is that?
I don't even know.
I'm sure it's in a song, though.
I'm sure. I feel like I've heard it somewhere.
Me too.
I just can't think of what it was. Because a lot of rappers, probably, a lot of rappers talk about, like, a lot of porn people.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but about the whole bisexual thing, too, like, she might be young to you, you know, because we see our kids as our babies forever. Yeah. You know, no matter whether they turn 18, 14, 15, 20, like, even us, to our parents, we're still their babies, you know? Yeah. So we're always going to see our babies as our babies. And realistically speaking, too, our parents didn't even know how we were really. Only our friends did. Yeah. You know? I was friends with this girl who was supposedly so innocent, so well respected, yada, 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 in front of, like, her mom. That's what her mom thinks. But she's not like that in real life, you know, like, behind her family's back, I guess you can say.
Wild.
Yeah, like,
it's always the quiet ones,
and
right?
Even
it's always the quiet ones.
Even my husband, which is funny because, like, My husband is her cousin, which is why I called her my cousin-in-law.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to identify you.
That's literally what I say. Yeah. She's my cousin. Yeah.
And so his mom will be like, oh, no, he doesn't drink, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yes, he does. I was like, no, he would never. Like, he doesn't take shots. And I was like, yes, he does.
But it's true. Like, our parents really didn't know.
Our parents, as parents, you never really know how your kids are behind your back. And so, yes, they might be your like babies to you, but then realistically at school with their friends, you don't know how they are.
Yeah.
And then another thing is like being bisexual or, you know, having that kind of thought in a kid's mind at a young age, I feel like is not normal
in these times, you know, because back when, you know, when we were like, oh, but how old is the baby? 9?
Yeah.
But it's a text from a friend. She
texted her friend, I'm bisexual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would just, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say like, yes, like it could be two things. It could be like I'm just messing around and I don't know what that word means and I'm just going to throw it out there, you know, or she might be realizing that maybe she's not attracted to boys and she's attracted to women, because a lot of people who are gay or bisexual, majority of the times feel this emotion young.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't feel it at, you know, 20, 30 years old. They've been feeling this since they were little. Like their identity is not like they feel a different way than who they are. Yeah. I feel, you know.
That's such a good, I'm so happy you said that, because my best friend, you know, he's always told us, like, I knew since I was hella young that I was gay. Yeah. Like, nothing would attract me more than men. Yeah. And obviously he's like, I didn't know anything until he was like 17, 18, where he's like, oh shit, like I'm gay. But I'm so happy you brought that up, because my baby daddy's niece, she went through this by stage where she was like, she sent like the whole family. Really? I'm talking about me, my sister-in-laws, my mother-in-law, her dad, her mom, a message. And she was like, guys, I'm bisexual. Like, you take it or leave it. Like, and I'm talking about like all her tias from her mom's side. Like, it was like a 50 people text when she said that.
It's not a bad thing that she said that, but the fact that she group messaged everybody.
Group message with her parents. So we were like, well, no, we were hella supportive. Like, do you, boo? If this is how you feel, that's you, right? But her parents were like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, why would you even do that? And now that she's actually like a senior in high school, girl, she's in love with men. Like, so it's probably a phase, you know? Because I think we all have gone through small phases where you kind of doubt yourself. But like you mentioned, like some of us feel it early on, some of us don't, or some of us go through a phase. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Because I'm going through a phase right now where I'm like, why she look so good? Like, why is she making me feel hot right now, you know? And I'm 30. Obviously, I love men or whatever, but I just, that's just me in general. But I think, like, you know, we do go through phases, and some children they know from early on, like, you know, for example, my best friend. But my niece was a great example of that. Like, she was like, you guys, I'm bi, leave it like that. And we were like, okay, girl, do you. Obviously, her parents fell away because she sent it to the whole family. Yeah. But now that she's a senior, like, she dresses up girly. She wears makeup. Like, when she sent that text, she was such a tomboy. So, you know, people evolve. Like, you just, like I said, you just got to talk to your kids. Yeah. If she feels comfortable to tell you, hey, like, I like girls and boys, then, you know, as a mom, you do what you think is right. Because the way I think and the way I raise my kids is obviously not the same as anybody else, you know? But you know what's so funny? Your mother-in-law has always been like, we know, like, you could tell, like, you know, like, I don't, you know who Juan Gabriel is? Like, you don't know who Juan Gabriel is, Michelle? No. Oh my God, people are gonna drag you for that. But like, you could
who is that? Is
you
that
don't know who Juan guy is?
No.
Yes, he's a singer. He was like, he was amazing, but he passed away. But you could tell, girl, in his early teenage years, he was gay. And they didn't ask him till he was an adult. Like, so I think it was an interview and they were like, ¿Te gustan los hombres? And he was like, lo que se mira no se pregunta. And that's, that's how he left it.
Like if you don't say no,
you don't say, you know, lo que se mira no se pregunta. So, you just know. So I think like my mom has always said, uno sabe lo que tiene. You know what you have at home with your children. You know your children better than anyone else. So at the end of the day, that's what I think.
Definitely communicate with your child. And, like she said, like I can't tell you what to say to your kid just because we all parent differently.
Yeah.
I personally am not conservative at all, and I know some parents can be conservative. Yeah. So I don't want to talk too much about deep into that because then we end up talking about politics and things like that. Yeah. And I just don't like talking about that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, like that's just brings up other situations.
Yeah, literally.
But I would definitely just say, speak to your kid, and, talk to them like they're adults because that's the thing too. Like we talk to our kids like they're kids, and in reality, we need to talk to them like they're adults because they understand so much. They're so smart. They're open to so many things now on social media, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Like social media and the internet is not stopping at all. Yeah. Like I feel like if anything, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I just, everything's a click away, So if you're not going to talk to your children, they're going to find it out on the internet.
Yeah. And
so
then
it's better to talk to your kids.
And then what they find is it might be something that you don't want them to know about or read or whatever. And it's just better because kids ultimately trust their parents and believe in what we say. Yeah. So it's, I guess just...
It's like a little touchy. It's a little touchy
Like subject. I want to talk about it, get deep into it, but then I don't want to.
And Michelle
also
would be a really good person because you're because of your relatives and stuff like that.
Like I come from a family of so my Asian family, if you know like your geographic and things like that, Thai people in Thailand, we are one of the number one countries for transgender. And so a lot of people who do decide to change their sex end up going to Thailand to do that kind of procedure and things like that. There's a lot of lady boys in Thailand. That's what we like to call them.
That's what I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Lady boys. Yeah. And
I love
versus my Mexican side, on the other hand, they are very conservative. Yeah. And my dad, believes something completely different than what my Asian side believes. And that was a little hard growing up because I had to hear from one end like something completely different. But I honestly believed my family who were going through this transition because they have gone through that since they were little. So what person is going to understand that more than someone who's gone through it, versus someone who is stuck in their old 1800, 1900 ways.
And our Latino community, like our Hispanic community, is just so close-minded when it comes to that. I think it's progressed a lot.
Like what's the word? Machismo, right?
Like very, but I've seen that it has progressed a lot. Thank God, because
I think we're breaking that generation.
Yes, thank God. Yes, I agree that 100%. Because it leads back to, their old ways and stuff like that. But I did want to tell you, because as someone who's been pregnant several times, try not to let your emotions get the best, of you. Because, girl, I was a waterworks with my daughter. Like, I was so emotional, I think about it, I'm like, why would I cry so damn much? But just try to compose your emotions, because you don't want to be like, oh my God, I made my mom upset. And our babies, like when I feel like when our kids see us cry, like they're not used to seeing the strong parent cry. So just keep in mind that you're super emotional right now, that you got a lot going on. Like being pregnant is no fucking joke. Like, I don't care who tells me what. Like, believe me, I did it several times, so I would know. So just, talk to her, relax, how do you say it?
Talk to her when you're in a good state of mind.
Yes.
And you're not in your feelings.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say talk to her after the baby, because then postpartum hits, and then that's a whole nother thing. So if you want to like get it out, I feel like the sooner the better you get to talk to your children, because God forbid, it goes left. But yeah, girl, that's my advice.
I think it's just important to be there for your kids, whether you believe in it or not. I just think being there for your kids is what's most important.
Yeah, because I see RuPaul, and like they go through their stories. Some parents are like super supportive, and some are like, I got kicked out. Like, she sent me to those camps,
Yeah, and that just ruins your relationship with your kid.
That's so sad. What are those camps called? Like when people send them? Like
I forgot what they're called,
but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like you see these people who are so vulnerable and just want to be loved, and I think that's what gets me. Like, I love my children, girl. They could be purple, orange. I don't care. Like, I love my children. I mean, it was so much love. I don't know about their daddies, but I did. I craved them, so I just think you should just talk to your daughter and support her. Because. I feel like teenage years were like, I was crazy, bro.
That's why I'm so nervous to have a daughter.
Dude, I know, right? Oh,
I'm so
don't
nervous
tell me, because I have
one.
She's coming. No, but she's really sweet right now. Oh, but I know Eli sometimes, like, he be talking back, and I'm like, that meme of that guy? What's it called? I don't know his name.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sometimes when he calls me back, he's like, okay. And I'm just like, don't do it. Have you seen that Nicki Minaj video? Don't do it. Sometimes I'm like, don't do that. Don't talk back. Because, and that's so funny, because my tia brought up, we're over there yesterday for Michelle's baby's birthday. And she's like, and Eli? And I'm like, oh, he has practice, And then she goes, I bet you he's such a good brother. And I'm like, he is. I'm like, he's the best. And he goes, well, yeah. ¿Cómo lo traía? She was like, you were always on his ass like this. And I'm just like, thank God I was. Like, I'm so glad that, like, because I was, honestly, I look back and I was, like, so, like, on his ass, but I'm so glad I was, because he's the best. Like, Eli, can you help me here? Or Eli, and he comes home every weekend, and he's like, how are my babies? He goes to all the kids in their rooms, and he's like, did you have a good week? Like, he's the best. So I'm just like, thank God I got on that ass when he was little. So, but as much as I got on his ass, like, I talked to him a lot, because I feel like he went through the most out of all my kids. He went through the divorce, he went through the separation. He went through everything. So him and I were like this. Like, we talked about everything. And I think that's what made him so much more mature. That he was able to tell me, like, hey, like, this happened today. Or, are you okay? Like, he's always like, like the other day I went to dinner, and he's like, what time are you coming back? I said, I don't know. He's like, why? He's like, okay, I just don't want you to come home late. And I was like, okay. Girl, you're 10. Like, he's 10. He's telling me not to come home late. And I'm just like, it's because he's just so much more mature than his age. Yeah. But I legit think he's 13 in his head. He's 10.
I mean, the kid watches football and basketball while my kid is like
on the iPad.
Yeah, on the iPad, like watching
he is, right?
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, literally.
Like
no, like he'll have his days where he'll like launch and watch Mr. Beast and stuff like that. But yeah, he's so mature. But it was because I talked to him. I talked to him a lot. Like, I always had conversations with him. For a long time, it was just me and him. So he was all we were all we had for a long time. So if she's your only baby, just talk to her, and y'all will get close. Like, the best relationship I think you have is with your mom. I think the best relationship I have is with my mom.
Definitely with
even
my mom.
Though we're like, because I think you and your mom are opposites, dude.
Oh yeah,
like me and my mom are like complete opposites, and I think you and your mom are like that.
Yeah,
like I feel like your mom is very much a Pisces. Oh, that's my moon sign. So I know, like, I just know. And I notice you are like very cutthroat about some stuff too. Like, you just be like, 1, 2, 3. Like, this is what it is. And I'm, Yeah. So
no, my mom's super, super like emotional, and so much so that it annoys me a lot, actually. And she's such like a mom. She's such a good mom, but there is such thing as a very like too good of a mom.
Yeah.
That
too
it,
nice.
Like it like starts annoying you a little bit.
Yeah.
And
You better be grateful.
I'm grateful for her,
Yeah.
but you don't know what it's like until you actually
I feel
like
it's overly
are with my
sometimes.
mom. Like, for example, I grew up thinking like so for example, I would bring friends over,
Yeah.
right? And I would talk back to my mom, whatever. I would bring friends over, and then talking back to my mom would hurt her feelings, and then she would end up going to my friends behind my back while I'm like in the restroom or something, be like, can you please talk to Michelle, tell her to stop talking back to me and stop being mean to me, you know, things like that. And that shit would piss me off because now you're telling people like, you're making it seem like I'm the bad person, which yes, I did talk back, but why did I talk back? Or, you know, why am I acting this way? You know, it's not just because I want to. Yeah. And then, so then like I felt like growing up, like no one really understood me. Like everybody just thought that I was like this bad kid.
No.
And then honestly, like the only person that truly understands my point of view is Manuel.
Really?
My husband. Yeah, he's literally the only person in my life that has understood like how my mom truly is and why I act the way that I act with her and why I feel the way that I act.
Yeah.
Why I feel the way that I feel towards her. Like he's the only one that gets it. Because even my brothers, because me and my mom, we grew up together only because my other siblings, they're already older. They were in college. They were living in their dorms, you know, like, you know, I was basically just alone with my mom growing up. And even my brothers would be like, why are you giving mom such a hard time? Like, you're so ungrateful, like just blaming me for everything. Yeah. And now that they have gotten a little closer, now he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I go to him now and I tell him like, what, tell her to stop doing this, tell her to stop calling me this. Like, you know,
they go to you and they're like, call mom and tell her to stop calling me.
Like they would like, they just never understood it. And then now they do. So now they don't see that I'm the problem. Yeah. And then now my husband knows like how I feel and why I get upset when I do about her. I don't know. She's definitely different. Like I'm grateful for her. She does a lot. I mean, a lot for me. I know that if I need something, she will be there for me, but it's hard to like manage being
somebody so emotional.
Someone so emotional and someone so too motherly. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain it. I know listeners are probably like, what the fuck? Like, I wish my mom.
I feel like,
but you won't know until you're in my shoes.
Some people are overbearing. Like, I've seen like a really bad version of people being moms, and then I've seen like the best of moms. Girl, my mom is not the perfect mom. Like, my mom, and she's realized like her mistakes. Like she's even apologized to my brother and I for like the mistakes she's made. Mm-hmm. But I just think like, you know, talking to your parents is like key, you know, but you're right. Like, I feel like, like that's just moms, you know, but we're completely opposites. Like my mom's a Jehovah's Witness, girl. I'm still hungover from last Saturday. That should give you the difference, you know. I have a cousin, and she's like the sweetest person. And she goes to church every Sunday with her mom, and she goes and talks about the word about the Lord and stuff. And I'm like, that should have been your daughter, her right there. God gave you the wrong daughter. And she's like, no, like I love you just the way you are, crazy, you know, just how you are. And I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't think you do, but yeah, like. Just talk to your baby. Like the best relationship I have is with my mom, but it took me a long time to get here too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Me too.
I had a lot of remorse towards my mom. I had a lot of anger because my mom left me and my brother when we were so young. I was barely getting out of high school, and my mom was like, I'm moving to Louisiana. You stay here or you go. And obviously I wasn't going to leave everything. I was on my senior year in high school. And she left. She left and she lived her life. And then me and my brother figured it out. So luckily, like I've always been like so mature. So I had a job and I stayed around with my friends. I found roommates and stuff. And my brother was it was a little harder for him to figure it out. But where we're at now, it took us a while to get here, you know. Yeah. Obviously, after I had all the kids and, you know, my brother, like, the biggest compliment he's ever gave me was, you're so much of a better mom than our mom. And I'm like, dang, thank you. Like, you know, and not to throw shade at my mom or anything, but like when my kids are sick, like especially when Eli was sick, I didn't know what to do. Like I was like, do I go to the doctor? Like I didn't know what to do. Obviously, I could call my mom, but she would freak out. She'll be like, I don't know, call your tia, because I'm too far. Like I don't know what's wrong with him, and I'll just be like, you know what? That's true.
And your tia always knew the answer.
Yeah, my girl right there. As much as her and I go back and forth, like I love that woman to death. Like,
see, I get along with her a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, people always think that she's my mom.
Yeah.
And
people thought she was my mom for years, and I'm like, no, she's my aunt. I think because we look alike. Because she's like blonde and like light skinned too. She's my dad's sister, so
yeah.
But no, my tia was my right hand for a lot of years. She's been to all of my births except the last one because of COVID. But she's been like she's literally been like, push me, how you can do it. But I think that's that. Like, just talk to your babies because that's the best thing you could do. Hopefully, you support your child and. She thanks you for it in the long run, like I do. Like like I said, I thank my mom for everything now, but it took us a minute because we struggled a little bit being teenagers.
Yeah, think about it. Think about everything that you're going to talk to her and what you're going to say before you talk to her. That way you just don't go in there, like blind.
Yeah.
And that way you know exactly what to say and your personal decisions and thoughts don't hinder what you want to tell her.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But anyways, let's go ahead and go to our next dilemma here. Okay, so I'm honestly so effing pissed off. Me and my husband went out to a bar to see the playoff game. And tell me why I catched him checking out a girl. It immediately ruined my mood and I shut off. He then asked me what was wrong and I whispered in his ear, in quotation marks, I saw you checking that B out. And he just stayed quiet. I eventually said I wanted to leave, so we left, and he hasn't said a single thing to me. I'm upset due to the fact that I know if it would have been the other way around, he would have flipped. I don't know what to do. Am I in the wrong? We are big on respect. Like, is he effing serious? I have so much to say about this.
I know. I don't know. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
So before I talk about my opinion and what I believe, I did do a little research on this only because
You reached out?
Huh?
So you reached out to a person in a row?
No, I did research on it. Research on
like literal research.
Yeah, because the thing is I wouldn't get jealous about that. So I don't know what it's like for a woman to be jealous about that situation. Or I don't know what it's like for a relationship to be like, I'm not looking at men and you're not looking at women. You know, like I don't know what that's like. So I was looking into it. And I got this information from marriage.com. And it basically just talks about, I guess let me just read a little bit about it. It says, why do men look at other women? Men staring at other women or checking out women has been usual. With the percentage of beautiful women out there, it's hardly impossible not to admire other people. The issue comes when a man you can't control the way you check out other women, especially in the presence of your woman. Furthermore, men are naturally wired to pay attention when they see attractive women. Plus, beautiful faces triggers the brain and rewards center by releasing neurochemicals that make them feel amazing when checking out attractive women. These neurochemical responses in the brain are why men look at women. Besides, research says looking at other women is harmless as long as you can exhibit some self-control. In addition, men checking out women is impossible with the stream of attractive women shown daily on the news, in music videos, in the internet, and in movies. Products, advertisements especially seem to be the culprit in displaying women. Therefore, looking at other women or men checking out women is behavior that is constantly promoted in our society. As a result, that makes it difficult for a man not to steal glances at women. And so I have a degree in advertising, and one of the things that I actually learned in advertising is excuse me, who sells is women. You know, that's why Victoria's Secret came out. You know, it's not for women, it's for men to buy these outfits, these lingeries for their women so that their women look like Victoria's Secret angels. You know, there's so much to it. Like back in the day, like back when, you know, print was first came out, you know, there's these women that are advertising like cigarettes and things like that, trying to make it look cute, you know, trying to sell it to men.
Back in the day. Like
yeah,
that.
when, you know, you're wearing like waist trainers and like all these things, this hourglass figure, you know, things like that. Like women.
So this goes way back.
Yeah, this started a long time ago.
But yeah. Keep going.
So I was just saying, like, I personally, I guess that's that on like why men look at women
like,
statistically.
Yeah.
I guess you can
scientifically,
say scientifically.
There's your answer,
that's the answer. Now I'm gonna give you another example of how maybe you can go about not having him look at other women, and I'm saying this based off of a family member that I have where him and her are very, 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 not Jehovah's Witness, Christian,
yes.
But they are very Christian. And what I mean by that is he also does not look at women and she does not also look at men. But that is rooted on their religion, and they don't watch anything like rated R. They don't listen to like, you know, bad music, rap and things like that.
Bunny.
Like they don't watch, I don't know, like, you know, certain things on movies or TV.
Based on religion.
Based on
the respect.
Yeah. So he doesn't watch that because he doesn't want to see things that might tempt him or things like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how faith-based you guys are, but I feel like being faith-based can really help y'all's relationship if that's the route you want to go.
Yeah.
I feel like being very faith-based could help you guys in y'all's relationship to, you know, you don't look at women and you don't look at men.
Yeah.
Now.
You go tell her because I'm going to tell her. Okay.
Yeah, now we're going to give you our opinion on this.
Okay. So I used to be that. I used to be you. I used to be like, he better not look. He better not even glance. He better not. But I think as I got older, I grew my self-confidence. I think it's a lot about yourself, your self-confidence. I'm that bitch. You walk in a room and you are that bitch. It don't matter if Kim Kardashian herself is in that room. You walk in that room and you're like, that's my husband and I'm his wife and I'm that bitch. You know, I used to be like that though when I was married to Eli's dad. I was like so self-conscious and, you know, and I don't know why, because I was this thin and I was still a baddie. But like, I think like, the more I learned how to love myself, like becoming single for so long, like I learned to become that bitch. So now if my man is looking at God knows who, then go ahead, boo. Go ahead and look at her. Because at the end of the day, you stuck with this fine bitch right here and you can go home with that. I just honestly think like it's a self-awareness thing, self-confidence thing. It also has to do like with your relationship with him. Like if he's cheated on you and you haven't healed from that, girl, that shit's gonna haunt you forever. So it don't matter if he looks to the right or the left, up and down. Like if you haven't healed from him messing around with someone, catching him on his phone, doing all of that, then that's gonna affect you to the day that you heal from that. I think that's the biggest thing. Like
because you don't trust
him whatsoever. Because from what it looks like, what you're reading to me, it looks like she don't trust him. That, you know, because if she did, she wouldn't be writing. So obviously, you know, she doesn't trust that instinct. But then I go back to like the scientifically speaking, men are men, girl. It don't matter. You could. I'm just gonna give you this example. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. Okay? You could be the baddest bitch and a man will be a man. It doesn't matter. You could be, I know housewives that have gone cheated on, and they're the best housewives. Takes their kids to school, packs her man lunch at 6 a.m. with fresh tortillas. I've known any type of woman, and they've got cheated on. They've caught their man at the strip club. They caught their man dragged out the strip club. You know, it just really depends on the relationship you have with your man.
Yeah.
Like with me, I learned to just be that, you know, that person. If he's gonna look at her, he's gonna look at her, girl. Like if you guys are, you know, like you said, like the religion thing, like if you guys are going in that route, then with all means, like respect yourselves in that. But you know, maybe like a bigger percent of us aren't really in touch with religion like that. So we live like a modern life. Mm-hmm. So I just think it just has to do with your relationship with your man, honestly. What do you think?
No, I definitely agree. I feel like if it's not, I feel like it could be like, you know, within yourself, like maybe dig deep in yourself and ask yourself, like, why do I feel like this? Am I insecure about myself? Is it because she's thinner than me? Mm-hmm. Is it because she's has better hair than me? Or what was it that triggered you? Like, is it because of you, or is it because, you know, I don't trust him because we have gone through some shit before, mm-hmm. you know, but then that eventually has to deal with, you know, your relationship with him. Like, for example, me, I honestly don't really give a fuck if he looks at someone. Like, I look at men too. Yeah. I look at men and I'm like, damn, he's fine. But I don't think like, damn, he's fine. I want to leave my man and go get him. Like, that does not cross my mind at all. I'm just like, oh, okay, he's a good looking man. Yeah. She's a good looking girl. Like, I would never, like, that thought of like leaving my person to be with this better person who might look better. Like, that doesn't cross my mind, you know? Yeah. And think about it like from your perspective too. Like, if you were to look at a guy, like, do you think like, man, that guy looks fine, I'm gonna leave my man for him? Yeah. Like, I'm sure you probably don't. If you do, then maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship. Yeah. But, you know, like, I personally don't give a fuck if he looks at another woman, because I look at other men too, and I don't think about it like that. There's a lot of attractive people in this world, like so many, and you just can't, how do you say, you cannot live in this secluded world or try to be secluded from the world when there's women everywhere. There's men everywhere. He goes to work. There's going to be women there. You know, he goes to the hospital. He might have a hot ass nurse, a doctor. Yeah, you can't keep him on a leash and tell him like, no, don't look at women. Don't look to right or left. You know, if you decide like you're not going to go the religion route and things like that, you know, then it just makes sense. You know, men are wired that way. Women are also wired. Men are men. Like that too. Maybe men are just in it more. And I'm not saying all guys are like this. There are guys that just, you know, don't care or whatever, you know. But I feel like even then, guys that might not care might look, but the thoughts might not overwhelm their head. Yeah. But there's no such
thing as a perfect man, girl.
Yeah. Not even a perfect woman.
But I honestly think, like, now that we're getting into it, I think it's just yourself. Like, it has to do, because I mean, I know like that there's women way better looking than me, but like I said, like, I gotta be realistic. Like, I'm a bad bitch. At the end of the day, like, you know, I love me for me.
And if they want to leave you for someone else, then
he don't deserve you.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve you. Yeah. He wasn't meant for you. That's not the person that, you know, is meant to be in your life, and you just move on. I know it's easier said than done. I definitely know it's easier said than done. I know, you know, a lot of us would rather stay with the person that we are than have to go out in the world and, you know, start dating again. Like, I know that can be exhausting. Yeah. But what isn't meant to be is sometimes just not meant to be, you know?
I think it's just, like, not worth arguing, you know? Because at the end of the day, like, you're going to get mad, he's going to get mad, you're going to argue, and then you're going to have, like, the worst day. Yeah. Like, it's like, scientifically speaking, it's always going to happen. If, like you said, he's going to go to work, he's going to go to the doctor, he's going to go to his kid's school, you know, the principal's going to be the nurse that's going to help him is going to be fine. Like, if left or right, there's beautiful women. Like, you know, it's just with yourself. You got to remember, I'm that bitch. He's with me because he loves me. Mm-hmm.
Maybe seek counseling too. Like if you guys are
they married?
I don't know. She didn't say.
Oh.
But I mean, if you guys want it to work, like counseling, always helps. I am a big believer in counseling. It has helped me in my relationship, and I vouch for it because I have gone through shit, and it has brought us really close together. And, if you see yourself in this relationship long term and you want it to work out, definitely go see a counselor and see what they say. Is it about the relationship? Is it about you? Is it something that he does that, triggers this, or like what? You got to get to the root cause of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, like marriage, relationships is just.
I never believed when people said marriage is hard. Like, I didn't understand that at all. No, I didn't. I mean, I never got married before, so I didn't know what that meant.
Because you were like, it's always going to be this good,
Well, no, not that. I just didn't understand, like, what a paper is going to make anything different. Like, when I think marriage, I think paper,
Really?
It's legal that you guys are legally together. And I just didn't understand, like, why a paper is supposed to be so hard. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but as soon as you sign the paper, I feel like things go left. I was literally just telling my friend about this. Like, I feel like as soon as, like, we're great, we're doing this, but as soon as for some reason you put that ink on that paper, like, it's
like, because when you get married, you finally commit to yourself that you're going to sleep with one person. You're going to be with one person for the rest of your life. This person is basically, out of all the fishes in the sea, this is the one that you want forever.
Forever.
And I don't know, like, what happens. And versus, like, when you're a girlfriend and boyfriend, you can dip anytime. Yeah. You can break up. You can go get another fish, whatever. Versus when you're married, like, I don't know. I till this day don't know what's so hard about marriage, but it is true when they say marriage is hard, because it is, because you have to work hard to
make it
figure
work.
It out, I guess. Yeah.
To make it work. You got to work to make it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Advice is definitely make it work before you get married.
Yeah.
That way you get married and it's la la land.
Make sure
forever.
He's like the one, Like, make sure you spend time and you go through shit before you sign the paper. I think that was my biggest red flag. Yeah. Like, I wish I would have waited and gone through some shit till I signed the paper. Because as soon as I signed the paper, it was all a lie. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. You love yourself, girl. Because look, I'm going to tell you what someone told me one time. There's so many people in this world, but there's no one like you. So you love yourself.
It could be a fine ass woman standing right in front of him, but the difference between you and her could be personality. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There could be, I know a lot of pretty people who have the ugliest personality.
Low key, like, I think I'm a legit, like, I'm but I think my personality makes me a fucking 10, okay? And people are like, you're so funny. I'm like, I know, right?
And it's deeper than personality, too. Yeah. It could be interest. It could be, how are they clean? Are they dirty? Like, they could have the best personality. Yeah. They could have the prettiest face, but they could be fucking dirty or something. Like, it's just so many things.
There's so much to it.
Yeah. So whenever you're picking your person, it's just like that right clean, that right dirty, that right prettiness, that right, personality, that everything just is right.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%.
So
I agree.
There's that. Okay.
You love yourself, though. You love yourself.
So this is our last and final dilemma, and this one's pretty long.
Okay. I'm ready.
So
let me drink some water.
Go ahead, girl. While you drink it, I'm gonna read it. Okay. So, ladies, I need your advice on this. What would you do if you and your mother-in-law don't get along? Because since the beginning, you've I guess she's speaking in third person. Since the beginning, you've been a nice, friendly person to her, took her to places, put up with her snotty comments, took her everywhere, gave her money, treated her so amazing. And her daughter, since day one, looked at you funny, talked shit to you, called you a whore, just because your body is thicker than theirs, and they don't have that. So And I also, and they don't show ass and titties, and they dress like nuns, and told your boyfriend that you were only with him for papers, and that one day she would meet up with your mom and tell her what kind of daughter you have. Also, I have DACA, so I don't need that, my man, for anything.
papers.
So let's clarify that. Okay, so I give her another chance without her apologizing for her behavior, invite her into my home. She gets here and is acting nice and starts making comments about my furniture, how it should be gold instead of black. She also tells me why. Oh, and then tell me why she's also calling me 14 times a day, saying she's on her way. I found this table. I don't know if you know this story.
I know exactly who that is. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
so-
go ahead.
Have you talked to her?
About it? A little bit. A little
Okay.
bit.
So I this is another reason why I thought you'd be great to come on here so we could.
No wonder
Okay.
you saved it last. I get it.
Okay, so I'm on my way. I found this table. I love it. So I brought some restroom decor. Okay, so this, she's saying the mother-in-law is saying this to her. Sorry, it's just
Yeah.
written
In
different
third
ways.
person,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, and then she says like, bitch, this is my house, my taste. When someone buys her something, she returns it because
Yeah.
it's not her taste. Also, when you buy something, especially if it's a big piece of furniture, you send a picture. She never sent me a picture. Anyways, this lady, I text this lady and I'm like, as much as I appreciate your gestures, I can't accept it, as I already chose a table that I want and I have my own taste and you have yours, and what you bought, I appreciate it, but I don't want it. So you can just go ahead and return it. Also, she's pulled up unannounced before at 8 a.m., knocking at my door, expecting me to open the door for her when it was our first day here at our new home. She cried and cried and she cried for days. Tell me why after I said no, that she wasn't going to open the door, that she had the audacity to knock on my door, almost knocking it down. With the table outside. Like, right as I'm writing this right now, she is outside and I'm locked in the room while she's trying to bring the table inside of my house. So I'm fuming right now. And as soon as they leave, I'm throwing that table out or giving it to my neighbor or something. She has clearly no respect for me, and doesn't respect me enough even to send me a picture. At least text me and let me know that you're going to get a piece of furniture and let me see it before you even buy it, because now you're wasting your money at this point. She is very controlling, very manipulative, and she likes to cry and make this scene in front of my boyfriend and make it seem like I'm the bad guy, and doing all this fake crying in front of my man, which is her son, and making this a big problem than it needs to be. I know my man's out there between two walls. I felt bad not opening. She's always making him feel like complete shit. He built her a whole house in Mexico and paid it off, and that she still treats him like a piece of shit son. I feel bad because she's always making him feel bad for not picking her. Like, that bitch made it a competition between me and her since day one. Like, she's the girlfriend, when in reality, you're the mom. So why are you trying to have beef with me? Okay, sorry if that was like,
It's a lot.
didn't make sense a little bit, because she was talking like third person and then like go back
She
into
went back, yeah.
But basically the gist of it all is her mom is
Her mother-in-law.
Her mother-in-law, yes, her mother-in-law is bought this table for her, and she doesn't like the table because it's not the aesthetics that she has in her home. But the mother-in-law is forcing, like, take this chair, and knocked at 8 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, I have the chair, banging on the door, basically almost about to break the door down. And she doesn't open the door, but eventually I guess her boyfriend ends up opening the door for her, and is crying in front of him, and basically like saying, you know, I guess that she is being treated poorly by the daughter-in-law, which is
not
her.
even, because they're literally boyfriend and girlfriend. So
What do you mean?
like she's not even an in-law yet.
Oh, well,
No, like I get what you mean, but girl, can you believe? And then
yeah, and so that's basically it. She, I'm guessing, has a lot of mother-in-law problems, but you know this person.
I know exactly who that is. You want to go first, or
I feel like you need to.
Just listen. Like, there's so many factors into this that I need to like just lay it on the table. One, I think there's absolutely no boundaries between that woman and her. None. She clearly doesn't give a fuck about y'all's relationship, obviously. She doesn't, she oversteps her boundaries because her son has let her overstep.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yes, himself. You built your mama a house in Mexico. Good for you, but that should have been it. Like you took care of your parents. I know this person, so I know exactly what he's done for his parents. He's a great kid. Like I tell her all the time, like he's a lot of things, but he's a hardworking man. So that's where I know the mother-in-law oversteps. Like, ya relájate. Yeah, you know, he's a grown man. He's gonna obviously eventually.
I can't believe there's moms out there like that.
Yeah, dude. He's a grown man. He has pelos en la cola, like my mom would say. He's old enough to go ahead, get out of his house, go make a life with whoever he pleases. If it was a stripper, if it was a prostitute, if it was Barney himself, if your son is happy, why does it fucking matter? Like what she dresses like, who she is, as long as she takes good care of her son. And I'll give her that, because that girl does take good care of her son.
She does.
She cleans. She takes care of their dogs, because those are her babies. I give her. You know, where I know she's wrong is how she doesn't know how to talk to people. She doesn't know how to communicate in a respectful way. So it makes him, he's stuck in between two walls. She's right. He's stuck in the middle. And I tell her all the time, you got to think about him, because he loves you. Obviously, he loves you because he puts up with his mom for you. If he didn't love you, he would not be putting up with his mom. Because there's one thing. If it's between my mom and my baby daddy, either or, whichever one of them, I'm choosing my mama regardless. You know what I'm saying? So he does love her. He does put up with his own mother. But I also give her that she doesn't know how to communicate the right way, you know? But then I get her as well, because girl, you could only communicate with a person so much. You can only tell them to stop overpassing your boundaries. So the comments about her body, I get. She's voluptuous. She has a lot of here and a lot of here, you know. Even when she wears like a regular shirt, you know, obviously this is going to stand out more than you and, you know, ours. So that I give her, you know. But like I mentioned, she could be a stripper. She could be this. She could be that. Like, who cares? Like, she's taking care of your son, and she takes really good care of him and their dogs, you know. But I talked to my mom about this, because I was like, am I wrong? Like, am I giving her the right advice? And my mom was like, no. Like, it's the lady. Like, the lady needs to understand, like, boundaries. Don't come knocking at my house at 8 a.m. She better than me. I'll tell you that, because I would have been like, get out of my house, get out of my doorway. I love my sleep. Like, that's one thing about me. Like, don't mess with my sleep. I put my phone on, do not disturb. I don't care if the school's calling me. They leave a voicemail. No, I'm just kidding. They know to call me twice, because I tell them, call me twice if I don't answer the first time. But she's better than me because of that. I'll give her that. I give her props for locking herself in the room, because me, like, the Aries in me, I would have set it off. I would have been like, get your stuff nicely, politely. But my mom's right. She should have known her boundaries, because she put me as an example. She goes, what if Edward's mom went to go leave a comedor that obviously you told her you didn't want, and she still put it there? And I was like, yeah, that's right. But Edward's mom would never, because she's an angel, and obviously she knows her boundaries and stuff. But I was like, yeah, she's kind of right. So it's a boundary thing. I think it's a boundary thing. I think it's a communication thing. But listen, this is the last thing I'm going to say.
What?
At the end of the day, if you see that this is not going to work, leave. You have no children with him. You have no ties with him. You're going to deal with his mom. If you choose to stay with this man, you're going to deal with his mom till the day she passes away. With, you know, God, I'm not saying she's going to pass away tomorrow. But you're going to deal with, she's always going to be in the picture. So if this is what you want to deal with, for the years coming, then just know it's going to keep happening. You're going to keep arguing. It's going to keep happening. He's going to be upset. Obviously, he's going to be upset because it's between his mom and, you and his mom. So that's all I got to say about that.
So
Go, Michelle. Go, you go. I'm going to stay right here, sip my water. I wish I had alcohol. I told Michelle we should have brought alcohol.
So I feel like leaving him should be like your last option once I explain what I feel like should happen. But if any of those don't work out, then I feel like if you want to go through that, then fine, that's your choice. If you don't want to go through that and you see it never like progressing and you don't want to be in that situation, then of course leave. But my advice to
you, she'll be the one to tell you to work it out. I love that though.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's not working it out. I feel like in this situation, he is the one that needs to fix this. Because I feel like you have your mother who is very basically treating you like you're her man, basically. And then you have this, your girl who, feels like she's being disrespected by your mother. So you're in the middle between two. And I feel like if you are in the middle between two and you know that your mom is in the wrong in this situation, I feel like it's your place as the guy to sit down with your mom and look, hey, like set that boundary and be like, hey, I am so thankful for you buying this table for me, but she does not want it, and I need you to respect that. I need you to respect my woman. I know that they're not married, so it may be that maybe that's why he's not having this conversation, because once you're married, like you respect my wife. But if you guys decide that you guys want to marry each other one day, you need to have this conversation now. So moving forward, whenever you guys do decide to get married, that it's no longer the problem and you guys can continue living life how it needs to be lived, right? So anyways, back to what I was saying. I feel like he needs to be the person to sit down with his mom and be like, hey, this is the first time I'm going to tell you this, and it's going to be the last time I tell you this. And I hope that you and me can have a wonderful and great relationship, but moving forward, I need you to respect my girlfriend. And, I have done a lot for you. I will continue to do a lot for you. Whenever you need me, I'm always going to be there. You're my mother. That is never changing. Reassure her. Because sometimes some women need that reassurance, and reassure her, like, you're always going to be my mother. No one is ever going to replace you. I only have one mother, and that's you. How I love you versus how I love my girlfriend is two completely different things. My wife or girlfriend is, it's just a different love. You love your kids different than you love your significant other. And he needs to tell her, like, this is what's going to happen. And if you don't follow through that, then just know that if I no longer speak to you, it's because of you. Whenever you decide that you want to respect my girlfriend, then we can go ahead and have a wonderful, beautiful relationship moving forward. But if you can't respect that, then I don't want to, deal with this anymore. And that entails me not talking to you anymore. And really, really, really stick to it. Like, if you're going to tell your mother, I'm not going to talk to you anymore unless you do this, then do not talk to your mother anymore.
He has.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he has, it means that he said it and then he didn't fall through with it. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true, because he begged.
Exactly. Yeah, you cannot do that. That's where it happens, where she believes now that, I can, it worked. Like, he told me this and I convinced him otherwise. It's, it's like a relationship, a guy cheats, you get back with him, he cheats again, you get back with him, he cheats again, because he thinks that he can do it again. And it's just a cycle all over and over and over again until they truly get it. Some people don't, some people eventually do. Your mother, on the other hand, she's the same situation. You really, 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 really need to stick through. If you feel like you can't stick through, then that becomes the decision of the girl now, whether you want to stay with that person or not, because obviously he can't control his mother to respect you. And then I feel like this is when she needs to pop in and be like, look, if you don't control your mother and stick to your word and truly not speak to her whenever you set this boundary with her, then I'm leaving. And then you actually have to leave. The
literally.
same situation that I'm giving him is the same situation that you need to give, that I'm giving you.
An ultimatum?
Ultimatum, so it's like, then you're in the same situation that he is in. If you're telling him, I'm going to leave if you don't get this situated, and you don't leave, then he's also going to, feel like he doesn't need to, be serious with his mother because you're going to still stay with him. So it's like this domino effect. It's not working, so it's not going to work. So then it's not going to work. Like somebody there, whether it's you or him, has to stick it through. Maybe you don't have to leave him forever, but leave him in the meantime so that he knows that you're serious. They're going to come back. They always come back.
They always come back.
I promise you, they always come back.
Zoom in on our faces.
They always come back. I promise you they do.
Believe me.
When I thought that this guy wasn't going to come back to me, no, they come back. Trust me, they always do. If you gotta fake it, but literally dip out, leave, and then wait. Literally just wait. That shit might take a month, 2 months, 3 months,
sometimes
maybe 4.
3 days.
I promise you, they're still gonna come before the year ends. I promise you that. And by the way, you have had relationships previous. I'm not speaking specifically to this person, but I'm speaking in general. We have had relationships in our past, we were able to overcome that relationship and find a new one, and then a new one, and then a new one. You cannot, you've done it once before, you can do it again, is what I'm saying. Like, you can find another great man. You can find another person.
She's
like,
so young,
he's not
beautiful.
the only person, you've already done it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You can do it again.
Look at me.
Meow. So that's my advice is somebody there needs to really put the hammer in and then nail it in. Because if not, you're just everybody's just wasting time. And if that's how you want to live, then just say that and just live that life. Don't go complaining that this and that when you're putting yourself in that situation. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I think that it's either you love the person so much that you're willing to work it out, or you dip, like, because it's honestly, it's a really ugly situation to be in. Like, you're fucking stuck between the love of your life and your mom. Like, fuck. And I know he loves her. He does love her. He takes really good care of her. And I'm speaking from experience, because the way he treats her, I'm like, fuck, like, I should have been treated like that. So that I give him. He takes really good care of her, and I know it sucks for him. That's like the worst.
It's like, are you willing to be in this relationship because he treats you so well? Like, what if there's a guy out there that you don't have to go through this with, and he treats you well on top of that? Like, I'm not saying that you might find this guy. You may not find a guy like that. Like, who knows? But that's, a gamble that you have to take. Life is a gamble. You never know what's going to happen, And then another thing that I wanted to say is I actually have a relative who married this person, and he actually no longer talks to his family. He doesn't talk to his sisters. He doesn't talk to his mom. He doesn't talk to his dad for the exact same reason.
They were overbearing.
Yep. Well, the mom was, and the dad, and things like that. And
that's the worst.
He never realized it until she came into his life and, pointed it out. Like, hey, your parents shouldn't be saying this to you. Like, your parents. It was more them treating him bad than her. But he just never realized it. But now that he's pointing it out there, now the family believes, like, oh, now they don't like her. Because they're like, you're putting things in his head, this and that. Now we don't like you. Yada, yada, yada. They're actually married now, and they're about to have kids. And, if the grandparents truly, really wanted to fix the situation, so they could be able to see their grandkids, they would. Like, you know, when we say if he would, then he could. But if they don't want to, then what more can you do? You know, like if they're not willing to put their shit aside to be able to see their grandkids, then that says
crazy.
A lot about them and not you, you know? And honestly, they're so happy now. They don't regret the choice at all.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like
sometimes
he's happy.
Family's toxic, dude.
Yeah, she's happy. Their kids, you know, will never meet their grandparents, but they're okay with that because their happiness.
They're so toxic, though.
Yeah,
it's because they were good people.
Yeah, like that his family drained him, drained her, and they didn't want, you know, the kids to be in that kind of environment either. And so you just
I love that.
But the difference is between their life and, you know, what her life is, he did not say, he didn't bend. Yeah. He said what he said to them. They didn't want to change. Yeah. And he never spoke to them again.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
I know we don't want that. Like, we love our parents. Yeah. But it's simple. You have to put your happiness over it.
Like if she makes you happy, then you choose her. If you feel like your family is your happiness, then you choose your family. At the end of the day, like, don't go wasting your time. Like, you literally only have one life. Like, I tell her all the time, like, you're only 25. Like, you have no fucking kids. Girl, I would have been gone. I would have done dip. But, you know, it's different. Obviously, I had that conversation. She said, I love him. And I said, girl, if you love him, you work it out. When you don't love someone, you dip, you know? I'm no one to be like, oh, leave him, you know? No, I'm a hopeless romantic at the end of the day. Like, I want everyone to feel loved and be loved and be treated the way they should. Like, at the end of the day, everyone deserves to be happy. Yeah. Everybody. Him, his mama, her, you know? Like, that's just... You just got to literally, what you say, you put the hammer down and you choose what you want to do.
And if he can't do it, then you need to do it to allow him to do it, to make him do it.
Literally say that again. If he can't do it, then you do it. And that's that.
Because then he won't get it. And it's literally a domino. That's how it's working right now.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
It does. And it's just up to her whether, you know, you want to stick through that or not. Yeah. If you don't, then do what you got to do. If you do, then do. Oh, don't tell me this where the music comes in. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, if you are listening to us, that is amazing. Love that for you. But I also want to let you know that we are also on YouTube. So you can check us out on YouTube. You can listen to us on any streaming service, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever we are there. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. This is our last dilemma episode. Yeah. So we will not see you again until season 3. And I currently don't know when I'm gonna shoot season 3.
I'll be back for season 3.
Yes, you will.
I'll be back.
And there's a survey that I want you guys to take, just because for season 3, I kind of want to see what you guys like about Mad Girls Club, what you guys find boring, so I can ramp it up and really make this enjoyable for you guys. And I will link everything in the description section of this video, this audio. Just scroll down and then you'll see her information. You'll see my information. Follow us on social media. Follow the Mad Girls Club on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will see you next time on season 3. Have an amazing day. I will miss you guys. We will have a lot to catch up on. I'm talking like this is the last episode. We have one more episode.
You do, right?
Yeah, we have one more episode before season 3 actually ends, but this is the last of the dilemma. So we will see you guys.
I'll be back and I'll be 30 when I come back.
And I'll be in my last 20s.
Your last 20s.
Yeah, this year's gonna be my last year in my 20s.
Oh no!
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on Instagram. Bye.